Welcome back to the show, folks. Now joining us in the studio, trainer Gary Palmisano. Gary, thanks for taking time with us.
Sure, Mike.
Well, I'll tell you what, last weekend was a big weekend for you, and you got another big weekend coming up this weekend. But before we get to that, tell us, just how long have you been training racehorses?
I started in early 70s. I've been around the track since I was 16 years old, the old Jefferson Downs, not the new Jefferson Downs.
Lafreniere Park, Jefferson
At Lafreniere Park. I'd go out there during the summer when I was off during the summertime. We was running races out there, and I'd go out on weekends and walk hots, and then during the summertime, I'd be my regular job. I'd go out there 50 cents a horse and kind of stuck with it.
Well, that's pretty good. I mean, that's a good thing to do. The kids ought to learn that they can do stuff like that. But, Gary, this past weekend, we had the Dixie Poker Race Stakes on Sunday's card, and a horse has been very popular at the fairgrounds the last several years, not only because he's been doing good, because of his name, Coach Rags. Tell us, for the people that aren't sure, where did he get his name?
Coach Rags is named for Rags Sherman. He's a
long-time Loyola and Delgado.
He's an institution in local athletics for the amateurs. And Brian Krantz decided to name a horse after him after he passed away some time ago, a few years ago. And I just hope this horse's longevity is anything like Rags' longevity, because Rags is around forever.
Right, he was a regular at the track all the time. I mean, he was one thing you count on, Rags would be at the track every day. If you're looking for him, you just go find him at a certain plot during the season, and then off season, you go to the OTB and catch him.
Rags had the best baseball mind I've seen in the city of New Orleans. He was a man ahead of his time. He coached at Loyola, matter of fact, he coached me in Legion ball. I had the privilege of playing for Rags Sherman when he coached one of the Legion teams at St. Aloysius. He had a brilliant baseball mind, and of course, the horse, I think, is carrying the name Coach Rags quite well.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
He's a winner.
Yes, he is. Yes, both of them are.
Well, I'll tell you what, Coach Rags won the Dixie Poker Race a couple years ago. He came back to trying to win it again this past weekend. Let's take a look at it right now.
Majestic Colours and Coach Rags. They're clear of Mycia Joe. Dr. Mike out 3 wide from Yoto Speaks and Bourbon Boogie. In the stretch past the quarter pole, White Star being shaded by Mr. Sulu. 2 lengths to Pink Duck. 2 to Coach Rags, followed by Majestic Colours, then Mycia Joe and Dr. Mike. Here is Pink Duck moving up to tackle Mr. Sulu halfway up the stretch. Coach Rags is starting to come home boldly. Pink Duck just in front. Coach Rags, and out wide is Dr. Mike. Pink Duck grabbed by Coach Rags. Coach Rags takes the lead. Coach Rags gets up a neck to Pink Duck.
7.5 is a bit short for him, as you well know. So you got to move him a little earlier than he likes. But once I got him on the outside, he showed that he's got a little bit of class over these here, and he's good right now. Gary's done a great job of leading him up, and it's a good passenger again today.
You had a pretty good trip. You got around and nobody behind you. You were able to stalk some of the pace, and coming around the turn, you kind of geared him out a little bit. Pink Duck ran a pretty game race for second, but like you said, it was mostly class.
Yeah, actually both turns I was able to save ground, which was to my benefit. He picked him up. Pink Duck run an exceptional race. He showed some versatility by coming out the pace today and running him down there. But I say Coach Rags is good right now, and he showed his best horse.
I thought he was struggling a little bit with the turf and the deep track, and at the 8th pole, there's no way this horse can win. I'm sitting there with Coach Joe, and I said, Coach, he's not going to get there. And Robbie swung him out outside, and he just caught on gear last couple of jumps.
He likes this turf course, and he saved ground. Robbie saved ground with him around the turn, swung him out wide, and Robbie says it's just a matter of picking up the leaders, and he showed his class today, really.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it was the course was exactly the way he likes it, and he just outclassed the field. I agree 100%.
Congratulations, Gary.
Thanks, Chad.
Well, I'll tell you what, big win. I mean, and like you said, you didn't think he was going to get there. I didn't either. I mean, he really accelerated that last 16.
Yeah, like I said there, it just looked like he was struggling, or he just didn't have his mind on running until about the 16th pole.
You and I were talking earlier. He's a horse, Mike, that Gary and I were talking about before we went on the air. He may be up on the lead. He may be 15 lengths back. Is he does his own thing? Or
Exactly.
Is that
he's a hard horse to ride, but once the jockey gets to know him, he's a very easy horse to ride, because he's going to do it the way he wants to do it.
You never know where he's going to be. Huh?
You're not going to change his mind. When the gates open, you got to let him just go. You just got to throw the reins away and hope for a good fast pace, and he can settle down behind the speed. If there's no pace, he's going to run his half mile in 48 or 49 or whatever is comfortable for him. But so you can't you can't out-muscle him. He's a big, strong horse.
Yeah. Well, whatever it is, he succeeds.
Let me ask you this: did he put more than a few of those gray hairs in your head? Because basically, he's a turf horse only, and it seemed like for the last couple of years, when they put him in the entries, the clouds started to form.
I think we only get to run this horse 3 or 4 times a season because last year I think I scratched him 6 times because of the rain, and we only got to run him 4 times. So, you know, it's tough. You know, like you say, you put him in and the clouds start forming. He's a rainmaker for sure.
Well, how's he doing? I mean, physically wise, do you think we'll be able to see him again next year?
Oh, absolutely. He's a young 6-year-old. Hadn't been abused. He's still a real strong, sound horse, and you're going to see him for a few more years, I think. We hadn't abused this horse at all.
Okay, we're going to take another commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk about a young filly that Gary has in the barn that's going to be the favorite in a big race coming up this weekend. Stay with us, folks.